Now, I think I'm the only YouTube community that I talk a lot about these people who have victimhood mentalities and stuff like that, right? And I showed you some of the symptoms, and I showed you how some of this shit has seeped into the sport of boxing online. I've noticed it. The victimhood mentality, you have no power over your life. We're going to blame everyone else except blame everyone else. Always want to complain, always want to bitch and moan. And then you want to, when someone doesn't agree with you, you want to attack the person who doesn't agree with you. A lot of these guys have very low IQs. I told you, this is a low IQ community. You see what I'm saying? They have a very low IQ base, and this is why they threaten people and do this and do that all the time. In one breath, while saying that they are pro that which they are threatening. So I want to break this down for you guys so you'll understand the psychology of these people. I did something like this last year, but I'm going to do it again now. So let's go. Let's go over here and let's see what it is. Now, as I said before, what is a victim mentality, guys? A victim mentality is a term used in the psychological community that refers to someone who essentially seeks evidence at best, or creates their own evidence, meaning narrative, out of thin air, or worse, to automatically place themselves as the abused party. Let's stop right there. What is a victim mentality? What does that mean? It means a victim mentality is a term that is used in the psychological community that refers to someone who essentially seeks evidence at best or creates their own evidence. We're going to make up some shit. You see that going on in boxing. You see that going on in boxing. Remember when I showed you the video with Dr. Umar when he found out that Deontay Wilder had lost to Tyson Fury? He said, "Oh, no, brothers and sisters. No, brothers and sisters. Was it fixed? Was the fight fixed? No, I don't believe he lost. The fight had to be fixed, sister. Remember he said that. He said the fight. Remember that. That's a perfect example of that, right? So now, victim mentality is a term that's used by what? In the psychological community that refers to someone who essentially seeks evidence at best or creates their own evidence out of thin air at worst to automatically place themselves as the abused party. Let's stop right there. These people are always the wronged and the persecuted ones. They are the victim of another person's actions, life circumstances, and every situation under the sun. Let's stop right there. When I tell you, I know these guys very well. When I say guys, I mean that mentality. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Because that was me just a few years ago. It was 2022. I think I fully snapped out of my psychosis in 2016. This is what's going on here with these so-called revolutionaries online. This is what goes on with these guys who like to threaten people in the chat. When they see you, they're going to do A, B, C, and D. Hiding behind an avatar. This is what they do, right? 9 times out of 10, these guys have victimhood mentalities, and they have low IQs. I'm going somewhere with this shit. People who have victimhood mentalities, and they are amongst us throughout our everyday lives. In the boxing community circles, and so certain boxing community circles, they have a bunch of people who have victimhood mentalities. This is what's going on. So when I saw it, I'm like, oh shit, I know what this is because I, specialize in shit like that. Right? So it is what it is. Let's continue. Now let's go. People who have a victim mentality truly believe that they have no control over what happens in their own lives. They think that the results that they get in life has nothing to do with them, and that everyone is out to get, hurt, betray, deceive, use, and abuse them. People who have a victimhood mentality always complain a lot too. They always complaining. It's the white man. It's the blacks. It's the Mexicans. It's the Asians. It's this. It's that. It's Pookie. Sir, you don't failed 50 or 100 times thus far, and every time you failed, I noticed that not one time have you took responsibility for anything. Nigga, you're a coon for asking me to be responsible. They have self-accountability. You're a coon for saying that I need to be accountable for my own actions. And I feel so uncomfortable with you putting this to my face that I want to physically do something to you online, threaten you in all caps in my mama's basement. Victimhood mentality. You have a victimhood mentality, boxing community out there. This ain't no shade. This ain't no shade. This ain't no shade. Phone lines open, 530-494-9636. We ain't running from nothing. And the guy who said that when, you see me personally, what you'll do and this and that, while hiding behind an avatar in your mama's basement. Okay. Phone lines open though, but you won't call, sir. Okay, so but let's move on. Let's move on. We're gonna stop right here. We're gonna go right here to this one part. Everything is because of everyone else. I lost that fight. I didn't lose that fight because I wasn't in shape. I didn't have any footwork. I didn't know how to work a jab. I didn't know what to do outside of landing one punch. I wasn't in shape. That's not why I lost the fight. Man, he didn't lose that fight because of that. Man, you looking at it. Brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, no. No, was the fight fixed, brothers and sisters? Was the fight fixed? This is what goes on. I'm going to show you guys something. Let's go. Everything is because of everyone else. And this goes on amongst all races and nationalities. You always have a group of people, no matter what race they are, what country they live in, what language they speak, what culture they come from. You're always going to have a group within that group that has a victim mentality. Going to give you an example. In the sport of boxing, that's what goes on online. Whole lot of victimhood shit. 1 minute you're a king, but you ain't got no kingdom. 1 minute you're a god, but you ain't produced shit. 1 minute you gangster, when I see you over do A, B, C, and D, but you didn't keep that same energy when the white folks came and locked your ass up. 1 minute you complaining about A, B, C, and D, but you ain't doing nothing about building it in your community. Yeah. Let's go, man. Let's go. What the shits today? Everything is because of everyone else. It's hard to trust someone with a victim mentality. Let me blow this up a little bit more. Let me blow this up a little bit more. Let's see. It's hard to trust someone with a victim mentality. That goes on a lot in the sport of boxing. Because these people lack trust within themselves. The people who have a victimhood mentality, they lack trust within themselves. They don't trust their goddamn self, so you know they ain't gonna trust you. Let's continue. They are highly offended. When I see you, I'm gonna do this to you. They are easily triggered and about as predictable as the sun rising and setting. Let's stop right there. The reason why I talk the way I do, because I told you guys, I said I know these niggas very well because I know the playbook from which they're operating from. That's why I say this shit. And as you can see right here, these people are very predictable. If they cannot win an argument, an intellectual argument with you, they go right into calling you names, attacking you, threatening you, and saying what they will do to you when they see you while hiding behind an avatar from their mama's basement. Emotionally unstable creatures. This is the modern day fanboy promotional company deriding fanboys that's going on the internet right now. This is what's going on. This is what's going on. This is what's going on right now. Let's continue. This guy right here, he says that these guys are highly offended. They get offended very easily triggered. Now that goes on in boxing right now, and about as predictable as the sun rising and setting. We're going to go a little bit deeper. I told you these guys who threaten you online, who say they're going to do A, B, C, and D, all that shit there, teach a lot of hate, rhetoric, all this bullshit. These guys have low IQs, but the people who follow them have even lower IQs. So when you have a mentally unstable, low IQ individual, regardless whether he's white, Mexican, Asian, black, doesn't matter. The mentality is still the same. It's not confounded to ethnicities or race. It's a mentality. But I am speaking directly to you niggas. You know who I'm talking about. Low IQ guys, right? This is what's going on. The guys who like to threaten me. The nigga who say, when I see you, I'm going to do A, B, C, and D while hiding behind an avatar. They're watching me right now. Those guys from that community. Everybody watches me. So let's continue. Let's continue. So now I'm going to show you something. I told you these guys have low IQ. So why am I telling you this? Because I want you to understand what you're dealing with.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.